Hey, just about to go get my hair cut, so I figured, well, I'm on the drive over there. There's been a lot of big EV news this week, so let's recap it right now. So one of the big events this week was Ford announcing that they are going to provide NACS adapters to current year Ford EV owners for free, which is pretty smart. That's a genius move because obviously, you know, they've already announced that with their 2025 model year, they're going to be switching to the NACS port. Now, that would leave anybody who's already bought a Ford EV kind of out in the cold from the NACS party. Why should someone that bought a 22, 23, or even why would you buy a 2024 model that can't use sets of superchargers without an adapter? You just wait. And why should anyone that's already bought a Ford EV have to pay for an adapter when, you know, if you just wait till the 2025 model year, or anyone that buys one in 2025 is going to get NACS support for free? So it's a pretty smart move on Ford's part. I mean, I don't know what it's going to cost them, but whatever it is, it's probably 100% worth it. And I think other EV manufacturers should be doing the same thing, because honestly, I have a Polestar 2 that I'm driving right now that I love, that I bought in April of 2022, so it's almost 2 years old. And I would pay for the adapter if I had to, but you know, I don't want to. I did buy a third-party adapter just to try and test it out when it shows up. So stay tuned for that. But it would make sense for Polestar and others, you know, GM, whoever else, Volkswagen, all of them, to, because they're on the NACS train now too, to offer the adapters for free. Because for me, like right now, I'm already starting to think about the next car, right? This car is just about 2 years old. Roughly this time next year, I'll pretty much be making my decision, like, what am I going to get next? Will it be a Polestar 4? Will it be a Cybertruck? Will it be a Model 3, Model Y? Will it be something else? Mustang Mach-E GT? You never know. Whatever. Maybe some other models will be coming out this year that I'm not even aware of yet. Rivian is definitely high on the list. R1T for sure. But honestly, like, why would I buy one now? Like, if I was in the market today to buy a new EV, why would I buy anything but a Tesla, knowing that with the 2025 model year, most of these EV manufacturers outside of Tesla are going to have the NACS port native to their vehicles? Like, why would I buy a car now that I'm going to have to use an adapter for however long I have it? Now, me, I usually buy, lease, keep a car 3, maybe 4 years, and trade up, trade in, whatever. So for me, I mean, it wouldn't be that long that I'd have to use the adapter. But, I mean, do you really want to have to use an adapter all the time? And let's be honest, I don't think Electrify America and EVgo, ChargePoint's pretty good quality-wise, but I don't think the bigger CPOs are going to catch up to Tesla as far as reliability goes in the next 2 or 3 years. I'm hoping that they will at some point, but I think it's going to take them a little while until they start to see that they're losing users to Tesla to really up their game a little bit. So, you know, I wouldn't buy a 2024 right now unless I would get the adapter for free. Maybe that would make me think, okay, you know, I'll do it because I'll get the adapter for free. I won't have to pay like $200 for it or whatever. So, you know, that's something I think Ford is smart, and other car manufacturers definitely need to follow Ford's move in that regard and make their adapters free for current owners. And anybody that buys one in the 2024 model year before they put the NACS port, you know, as a native port on their vehicles. So, to me, it's a no-brainer, and I think Ford's a genius for doing it. They were the first one to announce they were going to switch to NACS. So, you know, and then everybody followed. Maybe that'll be the case now. I sure hope it is. One other big news, I'm driving a Polestar. Obviously, I love my Polestar. But big news this week for Polestar is that not only did they unveil the Polestar 4, which was like, oh, they're good news, you know, feel-good story early in the week, but then later in the week, Volvo announced that they are not going to support Polestar financially anymore. They're cutting them off. So that's not good. Now, their parent company, Geely, the Chinese company, is still going to support Polestar financially. So Polestar's not going away, but it's kind of a ding on them. And it's strange to me because, you know, I know a lot of people in the US think of Polestar as this sort of startup EV company, but really Polestar's been around for decades in Europe. That was always Volvo's performance division. So to see Volvo just be like, yeah, see you later, Polestar, and kind of like kick them to the curb, I don't know. That's kind of strange to me, but you know, so good news, bad news for Polestar this week. They got to unveil the Polestar 4, but then they lost some funding from Volvo. And now it makes me think, like, I was kind of hoping that in the next couple years, Volvo dealers would start to service Polestars. You know, like if you need something done to your Polestar, whether it be, you know, the TCAM unit, or, you know, if you have a screen go bad, or like a window switch goes bad, little things like that happen no matter what kind of car you have, that Polestar would be able to, or Volvo would do the support. But sounds like that probably won't happen now either, which kind of is unfortunate. Also, saw a report this week that there's been some testing of guardrails, and that they can't handle heavy EVs. Like, EVs are too heavy for guardrails in the US. Really? I'm sorry, I didn't know that SUVs were heavier than EVs. I didn't know that like a Dodge Ram or a Silverado is not heavier than my Polestar. Pretty sure it is. So I kind of look at this report as just another sort of anti-EV kind of study where they're like, oh, EVs perform worse on guardrails. Well, yeah, if you take, like, let's say my Polestar 2 and you compare it to a Toyota Corolla, yeah, it's probably not, a guardrail's not going to handle this car as well as a Corolla. But we've had some pretty heavy vehicles on the road in the US for a long time. SUVs aren't new. A Ford Explorer weighs more than my Polestar. So I just look at that as like more anti-EV bullshit that people just, you know, they just have to knock EVs at every turn. So I don't really consider this study to be anything of any substance other than just, like I said, it's just anti-EV BS. You know, it's just people that don't like EVs, whatever. Also, I saw another report that hybrids and EVs combined made up like 16% of sales in the US last year in light-duty vehicles. I thought nobody wanted EVs. I keep hearing in the media that nobody wants EVs. Now, I know of that 16%, it's probably mostly hybrids because a lot of the manufacturers have been making hybrid crossovers. And in the US, that's what everybody loves. They all love crossovers, right? But I think that's still good news, you know, in the world of EVs, because a hybrid is sort of the gateway drug to a full-on EV. Even my wife, like, she's all into the idea of an electric car. I have one. She obviously knows my experience has been really good, but she was still kind of hesitant to sort of go full EV. I mean, this is somebody who didn't get an iPhone until 2012, who didn't get on Facebook until like 2011. She's kind of one of these people that sort of, you know, eases into technology. She got a hybrid last year, and it's a crossover hybrid. So she's one of those people. And, you know, her feeling now is it's awesome. She drives that on EV mode most of the time, and all the time is like, oh, babe, do you still have your shoes on? Can you go plug my car in? You know, she really likes it, and she's already made up her mind that her next car will be a full-on electric. So I think that's good news in the world of EVs when you're starting to hear a lot of, crap in the media about how, nobody wants EVs. I don't think that's true. I think when the car manufacturers make cars that people want, people aren't going to care whether it's an EV or a gas car. Is it a cool car? Do they like it? Does it do what they need it to do? If you have a family, you need to carry your kids around to soccer practice. Does your car do that? If there's an EV when they put out an EV minivan, they're probably going to go like crazy. And so the last thing, I guess, that was kind of on my mind this week is that Elon Musk lost out on his $56 billion pay package. The judge ruled against him. But I find that crazy because, yes, it sounds like an insane amount of money, $56 billion. But consider what he has done with Tesla. He is worth every single penny of that $56 billion. He made electric cars a thing. Because before he came along, yeah, others had tried to make electric cars. There were electric cars, but nobody wanted them. They weren't going anywhere. It was never going to happen. He made it mainstream. And just when you think about the impact on the world, that's huge. I mean, the fact that whether you want to believe what the media is telling you today or not, we are going to an electric vehicle world. That is where we are headed. ICE cars will not be manufactured past 2040. They're just not going to be. I mean, people need to basically, deal with that and accept it. ICE cars are going away. It's going to be a slow transition, yes, but they are going. Electric cars are the future. That is that. And he made that happen. And just think about the environmental impact of that, what he's been able to do with Tesla, making electric cars a thing. All the other car manufacturers followed along. And not only that, just the whole process of buying a car. I mean, it's so much easier to buy a Tesla than just about any other car. One of the reasons I went with the Polestar is because I could order it online. I'm never going to go to a car dealer again. Never. I think the dealer model is going to die because they make it more expensive, more of a pain in the ass, it's more of a hassle. It's just, the dealer model sucks. It always has sucked, but that was for decades the only way you could buy a car. Now you can just go online, order a Tesla. You put your deposit down, and they deliver it. Polestar, I just put my deposit down. They would have delivered it, except I didn't want to wait an extra 2 days, so I went and picked it up. It's just a better way to go, and I think, just those things alone, the fact that he's made EVs a thing, mainstream, that, he's basically changed the course of the automotive industry because it's all going electric. He's blown up the dealership model and made buying a car way easier and more profitable for the car company, by the way, because you take the dealer middleman out. And, just the overall impact on, whether or not you think climate change is a thing, it is. I'm not crazy. I'm not one of these people that thinks it's going to destroy the planet, next week. But it is a thing. And, having a huge impact on that is a pretty big deal. So, I think Elon is worth every penny of that $56 billion. He should get it all. He probably won't, or he'll find some way to make it back. I'm not too worried about him because he's still worth $154 billion. So he's not going to starve. But anyway, those are the things that were on my mind on a Friday. I was going to get my hair cut. Got to go in and get snipped. So I will talk to you guys later. And remember, EVs are awesome. And it's okay to be awesome. See you guys next time. Go around him. He's stopped. Jesus Christ. Genius right here. Genius. Block the road with mail trucks. It's a hot mail carrier though. So I guess I can forgive it.